Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. This is a Corgi Christmas mug that my sister got me. Hi, hello. I'm back in Los Angeles, California. I recently went on an airplane from Philadelphia to Los Angeles. That's how I got here. And that was a yawn, which is basically a scream. It's your body screaming for sleep. I took an edible like 15 minutes ago, took a shower, and I'm going to be going to bed. I wanted to record this episode last night, but last night I died from being tired, and my phone almost died. I landed at the airport, and LAX changes how you can get Ubers every week. So it used to be that Ubers could just like come and pick you up from where you're standing, but then it turned into like, I don't know, something else and then something else. Now what it is you have to walk. I mean, you can take a shuttle, but I usually walk because the shuttle's really packed. And after being on a plane for 6 hours, I like to walk. Get rid of the blood clots that the airlines enjoyedly placed into my bloodstream. And there's so many things to talk about. There's so many. I want to rip it all apart. And we're just going to do it in a nonlinear way. So if you do not have ADHD, why are you listening to my podcast? I'm just kidding. You're welcome here. I don't understand you. You just do things in a straight line. You think something and then you do it. You make a list and you can just do it. How? Why? When you walk into a room, you remember when you walk into that room? Why? I feel like you're cheating. I feel like people who don't have ADHD are cheating. They're going through life on easy mode. Here's the other thing. ADHD is not real. It's just something that people say that they have for attention. How do I know this? I want attention. How do I know this? I'm holding a microphone. Why is that loose? Is this recording? So I guess I need a new microphone. Where did I get this microphone? Thank you for asking. Listening pals, I got, fucking eyelash just got in my eye. What the fuck is wrong with my eyelashes? I want to rip all of my eyelashes out. I want to rip them all out. I literally have to do eyelash maintenance. Once a day, I have to pull all my eyelashes to get rid of the loose ones. I know, I sound like a little, a little, insert your favorite swear word for something that's bad. I don't know what word you want to use. It's exhausting trying to figure out what words you want me to use, because guess what? I want to use the words that I want to use. There's so many fucking open tangents. I don't know where we're going. I have to rip out all my eyelashes, and they still get in my fucking eyes all the time. So you have to like walk. You have to walk. You have to walk from wherever you are to outside of LAX, and there's like a designated area where there's like taxis and Ubers and Lyft. I've never used Lyft in my entire life. Okay. Excuse me. I use Uber. I don't think I've ever even downloaded the Lyft app. I think I've been in a couple Lyfts where other people call them, but I haven't done it. Why? You would think that I would be a Lyft guy. I kind of feel like Uber is... Sorry, I was in your personal space there. You came to my house. This is my house. It's an apartment I rent. I don't think I've ever used Lyft, and I don't have a reason. I kind of think it's because like I kind of think of like Uber as Coke and Lyft as Pepsi. And even though I like Mountain Dew, but I can't drink it because last time I drank it, I almost gave me a heart attack, and it was a mini can. Did you know that Mountain Dew has orange juice in it? Do you ever know that Mountain Dew is really fucking bad for you? Tastes good, but it is opaque. So, I'm walking out of LAX. I could have taken the... I just also, like, I love walking through airports. I feel like I'm on a runway in a fashion show, and I'm just, like, I had my Hawaiian shirt on. I had my, like, mint seafoam green shorts on, flip-flops. I was just feeling cool. I had my Fall in Love with Me outfit on. That's what I call it. It's a new outfit, but it's not a new outfit concept. I'm always trying to find love in an airport. There's something about being trapped on a plane for 6 hours. Fall in love with me. Fall in love with me. What the fuck is wrong with you that you don't want to fall in love with me? What? Oh, you don't like how I look? You don't like how much money is not in my bank account? You don't like that my bed is a foam pad on the floor? Well, guess what? I don't like your attitude. How about that? How about that? I don't like your attitude. I also don't like how you ran out of Pringles. This is a 6-hour flight. We will get to that. There's so much to cover. So I was walking, and here's the thing. I could charge my phone in the airport if I wanted to, but I had like 34%. I got my headphones on, and I'm walking. Oh, my Fall in Love with Me outfit. So basically, I like to peacock when I'm in airports and on airplanes. It's like fall in love with me. Or become my friend. I'm looking for love and I'm looking for friendship. Separate, and not equal. They're not equal. Why? I love my friends more. What? I'm going to love you more? You just got here. That's what I'm going to say when I get into a relationship. You just got here. I'm going to throw myself away for you. I'm going to throw my friends away for you. I'm going to throw my career away from you. You just got here. I was talking to my situationship the other day, and I was like, I don't love you. I don't trust you either. But I would like to be open to it. And I was like, do you like my honesty? I don't love you. It's been 2 months. We haven't even met in person. You live in Arizona. Why are you going skiing in Idaho and not coming to LA to visit me? Red flag? Beige flag? Maybe green flag. We don't know. We don't know. It's okay. I'm fine. I'm doing great. I'm doing too good. Things are too good. So like, do you ever feel like I got that song stuck in my head because I found a screamo version of it. So I was walking to, do you love how short my stories are? I was walking to get my Uber and it was like 34%. And it's like just starts dropping. Next time I check, it's like 20%, 18%, 16%. Last time this happened was 2 years ago, Christmas Eve, 3 a.m. in an ice storm in -2-degree weather in the Midwest. And I got stuck outside. I got saved by a police officer who won't return my text messages. What? You don't want to become friends with me? It's only been a year and a half. Look, the number is probably a work number. It's probably not his number anymore. Did I send a novel? Yes. Did I say, can I take out for dinner as a thank you? Yes. I also said, would you like to go rock climbing to become friends? I don't know. You can become friends anyway. It would be really helpful to have a police officer as a friend. Who do I want as friends? I want a police officer. I want an accountant. I want a lawyer. And not just because of what they can do for me, but because of what I can do for them. I know how to make meatballs from scratch. I can give them haircuts for free. So anyways, I know the tension is palpable. I'm going to the Uber pickup place and my phone's just like dropping. And it's like I said, I got stuck in that ice storm and like it was so cold, it was just like sucking the energy out of the phone. That's what happens. And then the Uber's like, the Uber app is like a major gaslighter. Your ride is 3 minutes away. Call now. Okay, then I call. Looking for driver. I'm sorry, I thought you said the driver's 3 minutes away. How can you know how far the driver is if you haven't found that driver yet? Okay. Searching for driver. Okay. Okay, I understand. Life is busy sometimes. And then sometimes it drops the driver and you have to get a new one. So I got this driver and it's like, so-and-so is, I don't know, 6 minutes away. Great. Like 15 minutes go by and he's like 4 minutes away. I'm not upset with the driver. It's LAX. It was Sunday night. It was super busy. And also, I blame the Uber app. Just sitting there, being all digital, taking everybody's money. You're not driving a car. You know who's driving a car? The drivers are. Exactly. Is everybody staying hydrated? This is a cool little, it's a corgi and a little, I like using handles. This is just water. It's just water. My throat feels scratchy. And how do I say this legally? The amount of times that I have to nicely and politely be like, hey, no judgment, but can you please not smoke crack or meth in front of me, around me, by me, in my vicinity? No judgment, but I have a heart problem. I can't even have caffeine. Also, it's crack/meth. What is happening? One time this dude was like, hey, do you want, and then he said this like secret word for meth, and I don't want to say it because I don't want to, what's that word? Entice? Influence? I don't want you to do meth. Look, if you do meth and you're my fan, thank you. If you're a consenting adult, how do I say this legally? Allegedly, hypothetically, live your life. I don't know. But the dude offered me meth, and I was like breaking. I said to him, he was like, do you want blank? And I was like meth? And he was like, yeah. And I was like Breaking Bad meth? And he like laughed. He's like, oh, it's not like that. And I was like, it's meth. The amount of times that I have to be like, hey, no judgment, but like, you can do whatever you want with your body as long as I don't get in trouble. But like, legally, allegedly, hypothetically, this isn't real. This is a podcast. This is comedy. It's not real. But if it was real, I would say, like, why is everybody doing meth? Why is everybody doing crack? Have you not had marijuana? Have you not had cannabis? Have you not had a THC CBD gummy at 6 p.m. and then have ice cream, watch a movie at 8 p.m. and get all snuggled at 10 p.m. and look at memes and fall asleep by midnight? Have you not done that? Weed isn't good enough for you? I don't mean to alarm anybody, but I do because salacious fear sells money. Everybody's doing meth. and or crack, or they're selling it, or they're like adjacent or trying it, or they know somebody. Everybody, meth is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's crazy. Just, do people not like marijuana anymore? Marijuana is great. I don't drink caffeine. I don't drink alcohol. I can't because of my heart. Marijuana is fine with my heart. It's fine. It doesn't bother it at all. No problems. This is a secret. Don't tell anybody this, okay? I haven't done it yet, but I am a little bit curious about DMT, but that's just between you and me. You did not hear that from me, okay? What is wrong with marijuana? You don't like marijuana? You don't like cannabis? What's wrong? Why is everybody doing meth? Why is everybody doing crack? It's not even like clean. Like, it's not even like heroin. Is heroin a plant? It comes from a flower, right? From the Wizard of Oz. What is happening? I don't understand. I mean, I understand people are tired of Chipotle being $20. Wait, is this a whole tangent of the Uber? This is 18 minutes of me telling the Uber story. I haven't even spoken about the flight. Today's episode is about my flight. Because here's the thing, I went to record this podcast and like, I don't know what this episode is about because I had an idea for the episode and then I was like, oh, on top of that, I can talk about the flight or I could do another one about the flight. But here's the thing is I don't remember. I have the short-term memory of a baked potato, sober or stoned. And so I'm just going to talk about my flight from Philadelphia to Los Angeles because I had to go to Philly, which is where I'm from. I had to go for personal reasons. Stop prying into my life. Stop. God, can I get some privacy? I just want to be a regular person. I don't like attention at all. I'm not a middle child who's been putting himself on the internet since he was 14 years old. Stop. If you're not subscribed, why not? What the fuck is wrong? So I was going to call my Uber. My phone was dying. That's the short version. I was calling my Uber. My phone was dying. And it was like 12%, 10%. Here's the thing. I was making a meme. I was listening to music. But like low power mode was on and the brightness was down almost all the way. So I'm sorry. You can't handle that, iPhone 8. You did not 8. You are an 8. And it's not on a scale of 10. What are we up to? 15? What's the iPhone up to? 15? I don't know. I do have a new assistant now named Steven with a PH, not a V. He's very adamant about that. He is my assistant. So, but he doesn't know anything about production. So he's not being my podcast producer. So I can't be like, Steven, what iPhone are we up to? And then he's like, 15, because he is not talented. But he was the only applicant who would work for Vibes. That's what I'm paying him in. He asked about college credit, and I was like, just get ChatGPT to make up a diploma. Sometimes I think about going back to school, but the only reason I would want to go back to school is to join a fraternity. I just want to do college like the movies. I don't give a shit about the education. And if I went back, I'd want to study something useless like Egyptology, because I watched Indiana Jones when I was 7. I got the DVD box set. No, I've not seen the new ones. And I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Why? Because I loved Fleabag. Thought it was genius. Can't believe there's only 2 seasons. Somehow I guess it makes it more precious. Anyway, so my phone's dying. Holy shit, 22 minutes about this Uber story. This is going to be another hour episode. 10-minute episodes. So my phone was dying, and it's like I stopped making the meme. I checked it was on low battery. I turned the brightness down all the way, and then I just like, locked my phone so the screen would go dark. And I'm just like waiting for it to show up, and it's just like taking forever, and other people are getting in their Ubers. And I was like, am I going to have to walk all the way back to the airport? I could just go in the first terminal, but it would have been like a 10-minute walk, but I didn't want to do that to charge it. And then I would have felt bad if he like showed up and I was there. But here's the thing. I think even if your phone dies, the car will still show up and like you can still go through the ride. So that's good. And normally you can charge that's what I was going to talk about, Uber drivers. You normally can charge I'm going so out of order because I'm talking about the Uber, but then I want to go back to the flight. I don't care. This is my podcast and I can do whatever the fuck I want. So I got my Uber. Nobody became friends with me while I was waiting for my Uber. That was disappointing. And you know what? It's your loss. You don't want to be my friend in the line waiting for Uber? Where are you going to make friends? The doctor's office? The grocery store? What is wrong with everybody right now? Why does nobody want to make friends? What is happening? What is going on? I know what's going on. People are tired of Chipotle costing $20. That's what's going on. We're sick of it. People can't afford to make friends because they're buying, queso and guac. It should be included. It should be built in to the pricing reality. What is wrong with you? Oh, some people don't want queso and guac, and we shouldn't have to make them pay. I don't get salsa. I don't get the veggies. I don't get the corn. I'm paying for that. It's like taxes. My grandma paid for the fucking school taxes. She was 94 years old, you vampires, bleeding her fucking dry like a leech. She wasn't going to school. She got pulled out of school when she was like, I don't know, 14 to work in a factory. That's true. My grandma had to work in a factory. And then when she was old as fuck, you know what she liked to do? She liked to do crossword puzzles because she liked learning, because she had a fucking brain. My grandma was smart, and you stole her education from her. You stole her life. You did. You did. Her mom died when she was young. She was one of, I don't know, 9. And one of her brothers shot somebody and went to prison. Because somebody was flirting with somebody that they shouldn't have been. So, you know, who's the real monster here? You know what I mean? Exactly. He got away. Thanks a lot. So what am I talking about? So then I'm like, did I get a cut? How did I get a cut? I am fucking sick of looking at my body and seeing like 3-day-old scabbed cuts because I didn't know you existed. I couldn't properly clean you. Oh, it's too late now. Oh, fuck, my hair got stuck in my glass. My hair's been getting stuck in my glasses like here recently. Here would make sense. The hinge where it bends, that would make sense. No, it's like here. It's like where the glasses, it's like where the glass meets the frames. I probably should get new glasses because I've had these for 7 years. I don't really want to go to the doctor because I know what he's going to say. Oh, you need a like 0.1% change. Spend another $1,000. Why don't you give me $1,000? Why don't I check your eyes? Oh, because you didn't go to school. I'm sorry, but everybody going to school now is using AI to pass their exams. All the doctors that are going to be taking care of us are using ChatGPT to pass their exams right now. So if you're not panicked, I would buy more cryptocurrency because that's just, talk about a contingency plan. I don't know what the word contingency means. So if it's inappropriate, I don't know what it means. My throat really hurts. Did I ever say why that was? Did I ever say why? I don't remember, but I'm not going to say why, but you can probably guess why. It's that thing that you're thinking. So I was going in the Uber, and then like the Uber showed up. But here's the thing. Has anybody noticed recently that Uber drivers, all they do is talk about money? Like, I started using Uber probably because I was driving a lot in LA. I probably started using Uber, I don't know, 2014, 15, 2016. I probably started using it more in like 2015, 2016, 2017. I don't know, like 10 to 8 years ago. I don't know, whatever. And like, I remember it was like way cheaper, and it was like everybody was super nice, and everyone was like really just like accommodating. And it was like, I think because when it first started to, like, Uber only took like 10% of like a finder's fee, and they got to keep more of the money, so they were happy. But I remember Uber was kind of like everybody accessible. Like, it wasn't just like wealthy. It was like a middle class everybody thing. Like, I remember rides were like $8 total, and it wasn't just like, oh, we got to plan. It was like, oh, let's like take an Uber to the restaurant so we can drink, or like, let's go to the movies, and you'd split it with friends, like a friend or 2 or 3, and it'd be like $3 or $4 or something. Or even if you went from like, I don't know, like the Valley to like Hollywood, or like Santa Monica to like Burbank, like, or like the Valley to LAX, it would be like, I remember thinking, I think I could get from like my old apartment in Sherman Oaks in the Valley up the 405 down to LAX for like $25. Now that would be probably 50 to 75, depending on the traffic or whatever. But like, it's so much money. And like, a lot of times I like to go to the movies stoned, and I don't want to drive. And so I would take an Uber, and there's a movie theater. There's like 4 around me that I go to, but the closest one is like, if there's no traffic, it's like 9 minutes away. And it's usually about $25 one way. I don't really do it that much now. But like, I feel like that would have been like $8 each way. But like, now it's like 25, it would be like $25 each way. And also like Uber drivers, I remember it was kind of like, you just had like taxis and cabs before. And then Uber was like, people were like super nice. They were like really happy because like they were making a bunch of money like for themselves. They were kind of doing it on their own time. Ubers now, it's like switched, because it kind of used to be like Ubers were like, we're here for you. Like, the customer's experience is like really highly prioritized. And I always try to like think of the worker. Like, I went out to dinner the other day, and I'm like putting the plates together and the silverware and the napkins. Like, I'm that person. But so I'm always like, okay, like, don't, if I have like a bag that's dirty, like, put it on the floor, don't put it on the seat, like, close the door quietly, like, get bucked. Like, I've literally, in like 10 years of using Uber, I've never asked to charge my phone. I've never like accepted the free mini bottle of water. I've never like asked them for candy or been like, oh, can you like play music or something? Like, I don't think I've ever said anything. Like, if they talk, I'll like talk, but I don't think I've ever been like, oh, it's like hot in here, can you turn up there? Because in my head, I'd be like, oh, like the air conditioning is gonna like cost some more fuel, which costs more money. Like, I'll just like use the cracked window. So I don't even think I've ever like asked for anything. But I'm just saying, like, it was more 5, 7, 10 years ago. It was like, Do you want a water? Do you want candy? Do you want like a charge? They don't owe me that. They just owe me the ride, a safe ride. That's all they owe me. It's fine. I don't believe like they shouldn't have to spend more money doing those things. Like you're not my waiter. You know what I mean? You're giving me a ride. Like it's fine. You don't need to give me candy or water or charge or whatever. Like the public bus doesn't do that. Like you shouldn't have to do that. I know it's because it was like the rating. It was like the 5 stars. That's what people. But to me, I was like, if you give me a safe ride and you're nice, that's 5 stars. I'm not gonna be like, oh, the ride was safe and efficient and you were nice, but you didn't give me a free bottle of water, so I'm gonna give you 4 stars. Like I'm like, no, that's dumb. The app is for a ride. It's not for water. But I'm just saying, I feel like people were way more like, oh, like, is the temperature okay? Do you want candy? Do you want blah, blah, blah? And it was like about the customer. Now, and it makes sense because the economy is like fucking insane. Now it feels like Uber, it's like about the worker. Like, everybody's talking about money. Every time I get in the Uber, somebody's like, how much did Uber charge you? Like, how much was the fare? How much is the, or, like, people will be like, they just talk about what that, like, they'll be like, oh, Uber's been so slow tonight. And I don't mind like people talking about whatever they want to talk about. Like I'm a big believer in free will, but I feel like it's just like everybody's like they're not happy, or it's like very yeah, it's just like they bring up money or they ask if I want to like, they'll be like, oh, I can cancel the ride. You can just like pay me in cash, I guess, because then like they don't get the little chunk or whatever taken out from Uber, or they'll be like oh, like I wasn't gonna take this ride because it was like a short trip or something, but it's just been really so like weird stuff where it's like not offensive, but it's like almost offensive because it's just like I'm just like, well, it's 2 a.m. and I got out of the movie theaters and I'm high as fuck. Like I just want to get back to my apartment. Like I just need an Uber ride. Like I'm sorry that it's only $15. Like I don't know what it is, but it's like 5 minutes ride. I don't know. Like I feel like like when the Uber driver came, like I had 2 bags from the airport and like he didn't pop the trunk to put the stuff in. So I like opened the back door. I was like, hey, like is it okay if I put these in the trunk? And he was like, oh, you can just put them in here. And he was like, come on. And like they were on the ground and he had a Tesla. And I was like, I'm not gonna put them on the seats. So I put them on the floor. I put one on the floor behind him and one on the floor where my feet go. And I sit down, my feet are like up because there's a bag there. And so I'm sitting with like my feet up on my bag. So, and I close the door and he like speeds off and then he goes into like, oh, Uber's so slow tonight, or so, like everybody's talking about money and they're talking about other things that I don't want to talk about because it just makes me uncomfortable. Like, because they just like, it's just like weird. And I understand you're frustrated. Chipotle costs $20. I get it. I cannot fix Uber for you. I'm just calling this ride because I need a ride, and I'm paying the service. It's just weird. I don't know what to say with it because like I know people are working hard. I try to be really nice when I'm in the car, and like I've been giving everyone 5 stars. Like even if you like fall asleep going 70 miles per hour on the 405, and I have to wake you up so we don't crash and die, still getting 5 stars. Or should I send an email to Uber so that this person doesn't allegedly kill anybody else? This is the conundrum. You know what I mean? This is the conundrum. Take away somebody's job or take away 50 people's lives on a highway pile up of cars burning in flames. I've been calling 911 a lot on cars on fire. On the highway, I'm basically a 911 firefighting dispatch operator at this point. I feel like I should get paid, compensated. Yeah, Uber drivers are just like not very in a good place. And like I get it. It's frustrating. I think Uber should pay you for your gas. I've always thought that. But I don't know. Does anybody else feel like Uber is just talking about money all the time? Asking about the fare, what it costs, like how, like if they just like bring up money. I don't really even know how to describe it, but they just like bring up money in a way that makes me feel like guilty that like they're not getting more money. But I'm like, I opened up Uber and this is the amount, and it's like I don't know what Uber's rates are or percentages or surcharges or whatever. It's like I just need a ride to go home because I've seen Trolls 3 band together for the 4th time and I'm high out of my fucking mind and I would like to go home. Would you like to know my favorite Trolls movies in order? I like the 3rd one, and then I like the 1st one, and then I like the 2nd one. Isn't that crazy? So Uber drivers talking about money a lot. What is going on? I know what's going on. The economy sucks, and Uber is ripping you off. Can we stay positive, please? Bunch of negatives right now. Let's stop being. Let's change up. Let's stop being negative. Let's talk about something positive. Let's talk about something positive, like a 6-hour flight where the plane runs out of food and air conditioning and is 40 minutes late, and there's a cat that won't stop meowing, and the 2 people sitting to my left are becoming besties while giving me the stink eye and giving me passive aggressiveness when I have to go to the bathroom and get my medicine when I did it when they were already standing up, so I timed it perfectly, and they ran out of Pringles and salted almonds. Also, when you fly coast to coast, it's weird because when you fly from like the West Coast to the East Coast, like I flew from LA to Philly, it is only about 4 to 4.5 hours. But when you fly back, it's like 6. Because there's like, they call it a tailwind, which sounds like bird plane fart, like pushes you or something. Go faster then. But yeah, so like when you fly, it's like weird because it's like it takes you different times to go to the same place, just the other way. But sometimes it's like roads. Sometimes roads do that if there's like a one-way street. So basically, when you fly west to east, it's like 4.5. When you fly east to west, it's like 6. So I was flying from Philadelphia to Los Angeles, and they don't feed you anymore, and they should. Fuck you, airlines. If a flight is over 3.5 hours, they should feed you a hot meal, not just a snack, a hot meal. Okay, if it's 4 hours or more, there should be a hot meal. We are paying hundreds of dollars, sometimes $1,000, but hundreds of dollars for this thing. And that apple juice with no ice and bag of pretzels, oh, you gave me 2? Oh, wow, that's amazing. Is not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. Okay, can I get some Dunkaroos, please? Can I get some, like, pretzels? Can I dip them in hummus? Is there a little hummus cup? Can I get a pudding cup? I'm on this plane. I get on this plane. Okay, I booked the flight like 4 hours before I go. So let's backtrack. I fly out of Philadelphia. I'm from Philadelphia. If you are not up to date on your Matty K lore, I'm from Philadelphia. That is where I'm from. I love the Philadelphia airport. It's amazing. It's got the flights of a huge airport, but it's got the vibe and feel of a small airport. You can get in and out really well. There's usually never like backed up crazy like LAX. LAX, you go in there, it's like 20 minutes to come out, just going around. Half the trip of going to LAX is once you get into the airport is going to the terminal. But all the terminals are connected very well in Philly. And there's even like a centrally located food court that has a Chick-fil-A. They have Annie Ann's pretzels too. And so basically whatever terminal you're in, oh, they have massage place. It's great. You can go get food anywhere. LAX, like once you go in, you're trapped. You can sometimes walk, like if you're in Terminal 4, you can walk to the international one, which is what I did this last time. I went to PF Chang's. But some of them, like you're stuck. I mean, you can take, I think you can take like a shuttle, but it's not easy. So a lot of times when I go to LAX, if I'm in like one terminal, I'm just like kind of stuck there. So it's like whatever restaurants they have is like, that's it. And there's like a cupcake ATM in another terminal. Like there's different stuff, different places. But so Philly, it's also like great. It's located in a good spot. It's like halfway up the East Coast. So it flies direct to a lot of places. And my computer's saying my disk is almost full. Is this going to record the episode? We'll find out what happens. My poor little 2013 MacBook Pro. I think it needs to be taken out back and shot, honestly. Hold on, little fella. Maddie don't got the sustenance to get a new brother for you just yet, so you better hold on. So Philly usually you can fly like anywhere from Philly direct. It's pretty fucking awesome. It also goes to Europe, all over the place. And I usually fly American because I can get like a free check bag or whatever. My dad flew American. Well, we used to be a U.S. Airways family, but then American bought U.S. Airways, and so this is the world that we live in. This is just what happens. So I like Philly Airport, and I like got the flight last minute, and then I got a window seat. Usually I like getting aisle seats. I used to be a window seat guy because I kind of like to tuck in and I can like lean against the window and try to sleep. I like looking out the window. But then I kind of got into being an aisle seat guy because I don't mind getting up if people want to get up. And then also like I can get up whenever I want and like I'm in control of that. And also like sometimes I want to put stuff up. I can just go up and get stuff and go up and get stuff. And also I can kind of like put my foot in the aisle a little bit more so my knee in the aisle. But yeah, it's a weird thing because if I look out the window, sometimes I'm like, we're in the sky. And it becomes too real. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, we're in the sky. Like we could just fall and die. And then I got into this thing where I started watching the wings because of the turbulence. I'm just like watching them jiggle. That's not good. It's really not a good idea to do that. But I was doing that. But I don't know why. I don't know. I just got a window seat, whatever. And so I get to the airport and like you're driving under the sky bridges that show and like security's all the way. It's backed up all the way. I get dropped off at my terminal from my dad and my sister, and I was going to check it back because I can check it back for free, and I was going to bring some stuff back with me. But I was like, I can't risk this because I got dropped off at like 5 for a 6:50 flight. Say 6:50 flight. So I was like, I can't take these. So I just like left. I was like, just Dad, wash all the clothes that are in here. Just pretend they're dirty and wash them, and I'll just get them next time I see you. And I didn't really need the stuff that I was taking back. I wanted it, but I didn't really like need it. But did you see me spill that? Whatever. I just don't want to spill on the microphone. Get electrocuted. I'm really nervous about being electrocuted these days. Not because it would kill me, but because I just don't want to like lose any limbs. Which is like, if I did, Thor forbid, lose a limb, like I would like pick myself up and I would be like, give me the prosthetic. I'm doing like the Paralympics. Like I'm going to like not give up. You know what I mean? Like I'd be like, I'm doing this. I saw a guy at Target tonight with one leg. And I was like, I'll be your friend. Or maybe I won't. Maybe you're an asshole. Because guess what? People with one leg can do anything they want, include being the bad guy. it's prejudice to just be like, oh, he's automatically good because he has one leg. Maybe he's a piece of shit. Anybody can be the villain. You know what I mean? So that's real equality and diversity is when you're like, oh, you only have one leg. Maybe you're a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Because it's prejudice to just assume that he's nice because he has one leg. He's probably a really nice guy. We probably would become great friends. I'd be like, oh my gosh, you have two legs. Oh my gosh, you have one leg. I have two legs. Like, we have so much in common. So, oh God, what am I talking about? So the Philly airport, I get there and it's like full. And then they're like, they like shut down security. They're like, they wouldn't let anybody else through. So they were like, you have to walk outside and go to the next terminal and go through security there. Like I said, no big deal because it's connected, but we already drove past that, whatever. So I go and I walk down and I'm like, got my headphones on. I'm in my peacocking outfit. And this security was super crowded too. Excuse me. But I was able to go through and like, I love airports. And I think it's because I feel like I could fall in love at any moment. I just like how it's like a mixture of like everybody, all kinds of people. There's no filters of like, oh, like, we're at a club right now. It's probably mostly extroverts who are in their 20s, 30s, and 40s who like dancing. Or like, oh, we're at like a baseball game. It's probably mostly people who like baseball, right? An airport is like everybody. It's such a mix. And I really love that because I like people that like, there's no like type. It's just like, I get people or I don't, or they get me or they don't. It's not like, oh, I'm only friends with like people who like, I don't know, Post Malone or fishing. Like there's no similar thread. All my friends are like different. They all have a pocket knife in their pockets though. But I just mean like, well, one time I became friends with a 72-year-old woman who was in the movie Speed in the 90s with Keanu Reeves. And I would go to her art shows and eat sushi. And then she fucking died on me. It was really sad. I found out from Twitter. And I was like, I just talked to her on the phone 2 weeks ago. What the fuck? So that was, that was a thing to find out your friend died from Twitter. I said I wasn't going to mention anybody dying on this episode. I got to speak my truth, and the truth is my friend died. But that was a couple years ago. I'm still sad about it, but don't be sad because she was super cool and she'd want me to be happy. So she was basically like my adoptive LA grandma, which was great because my other grandma died, and the other one did too. So basically, I like the Philly airport, so I go through security, and I like airports also too because I feel like I'm going to fall in love. I feel like I could fall in love like at any moment. And I like to just like peacock with my clothes. And there's just something exciting about being like trapped on an airplane with like a bottle of $8 water and like shitty pretzels. And so I make it through security and I have to travel to the next terminal. And then I went to a store and I got a postcard for my nephew because I'm doing this thing because my nephew is literally a baby. That like I like got him this box with it. I put his name on it, like it's a wooden box. And because he lives far away, I was like, I want to like stay in contact with him, even though I like can only see him a couple times a year in person. So I got it so like I could write him like handwritten letters. I can send him like postcards. Like if any of his other like family members give him like a Christmas card, a birthday card, he can put them in there. And then when he's like 7 and 12 and 15, when he's like learning to read and growing up, he can be like, look at all these people who have like cared about me this whole time. And like so every time I visit him, I'll like write him a letter and just like talking about our visit. And then when I travel, like if I'm in a new city, I want to get a postcard because I think that'd be like really cool. You're like 9-year-old boy and like you get a postcard in the mail and you're like, oh, this is from Washington D.C. Oh, this one's from Miami, Florida, and you're like trying to get one from each state, like or one from every major city or whatever. Because I've sent him ones. I sent him one from like L.A. or Hollywood, but then I also did like Venice Beach because I went to the boardwalk and I found a store. I've done Indianapolis. I've done Philadelphia. I just started the postcard thing, so I think that's all I've done. I was in Denver and I forgot to get him one from there, but in my defense, it was like a 30-minute layover and it was like a real rush. So even if I'd remembered, I probably wouldn't have had time. But I was like so stressed about it. But Denver's like super cool to have a postcard from, especially the airport. If you know, you know. So I got him a Philadelphia postcard, and then I got a $57 bottle of water because I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to get my lukewarm apple juice. And I want to be able to have the bottle so I can close it, and also so I can just have. It's a long flight. So I go to board. And one of my favorite things is people who are in like boarding zone like 37 standing right at the kiosk when they're boarding zone 2, 3. And then we can't tell, like, I don't want to cut in front of you if you are like boarding, but if you are not boarding and you're just waiting to board, maybe like step a little back. You know what I mean? Like I have to like, are you board? Are you? I have to like ask like they're like a kindergartner, like, are you in line, or are you just standing where the line is? Those sentences are the same, but you have different intentions. That is something that really the human psychology of it. Like I know they're like ready to. I think it's because they're like they want to make sure that they get a space for their bag. But here's the thing: you can only board when they call your boarding group. So like, You don't have to sit down, but can you stand back? Do you need to be 3 feet from the entrance when you're in boarding zone 75 and they're calling boarding zone 3? Because I'm in 3 and now I feel I was in 5. I was in boarding zone 5 for this flight. I don't want to talk about it. That's just like weird because I don't want to like cut in front of people, but like, move! I have to get on the plane. Please. So that's other things. You want to study human psychology? Go to a fucking airport. People are in like survival mode. People de-evolve into cavemen for sure. People are like, and I do it in my own way. I'm like, oh my god, I'm about to get on a plane. Like, do I need like 7 candy bars? Like in case I starve? I think I do. And they each cost $10. Perfect. I remember one time I was at Burbank Airport and I got like a tray of California roll sushi. Yes, sushi from an airport kiosk and a bottle of water. And the person was like, that'll be like 37. And I was like, no. I just put the sushi back. I was like, I cannot do that. I can't pay $28.50 for shitty airport California rolls that are dried out. I cannot do it. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, logistically, I cannot do it. So I get on the plane and then it's like, I'm in the window seat. The lady who's sitting in the aisle is already sitting there. Here's the thing. Apparently I'm really hard to read. Apparently my resting face is like, I hate you. I think it's creepy to go around smiling for no reason. If my resting face is this, or if my resting face is this, or even if my resting face is just like chill, like, what? That seems psychotic if you're just standing there like this. But like I said, even if you're just like, who is performing emotions all the time, happy for strangers for no reason when nobody's looking at you? Like, so when I'm just like in public, my face is just like this. I usually have my mouth open, even though I breathe out of my nose. I like having my mouth open, even though I breathe out of my nose. So this looks like sad, right? If I look around. Sad. But I'm just standing there. If you like came up to me, I'd be like, hey dude, what's up? But like if I'm just standing there, I'm just gonna be like, but I say that because like apparently people can't read me. I think that I can read people really well, but then there's like all these social cues that mostly I don't agree with or don't give a shit about. And so like I just don't, it's not that I can't read them, but I just am like, I don't care to do that. Like I know that I am a nice person. I don't need to like play these like games. I say please. I say thank. I was at Chipotle today. Oh, can I get white rice, please? I always like, oh, thank you. Like I use please. I use thank you. I like to brag about what a good person I am on my podcast. No, but just like I like hold the door for people. Like I do that kind of shit. I don't need to be standing there like this to be a good person. So like I'm just like standing in line like this, and then I get to my seat and I stop like past her by like half a seat, and I like put my bag in the overhead. And I like sometimes people like notice by that point that you're like putting the bag there that you might need to go. But I was like, and I don't know what inflection in my voice. I use some sort of friendly inflection. But I was like, hey, excuse me, I'm in this row. And then she didn't say anything. She just looked at me. And then she got up and I was like, thank you so much. I said thank you, or I said thank you so much, or I appreciate it. So I don't know if I know the meaning of this word at all. Colloquial? Is that a word? Is that an appropriate word? I don't know. Can someone Google that so I don't get in trouble? And then she doesn't say anything. And then I like get back in the seat. And then like right before we take, and she's like, I don't know, she's like 50. I guess. I don't know. I'm not good with telling ages after like a certain point. Like when somebody's like 23, if someone's 23 to 43, I don't know how old you are. I saw some guy today. I thought he was 24. He was 35. How do I know that? I asked him. I said, how old are you? I thought you were younger than I am. He goes, I'm 35. I love asking people questions that I want to ask them without like buffering it with like bullshit small talk. I'm just like, how old are you? I didn't say hi or hello. I just said, how old are you? Did you not come into the store for a stranger to ask you how old you are? Stay home. Okay. But so, then this dude who, once again, I don't know. He could have been 20 and a college student. He could have been 35. He had a wedding ring on, but I swear he was giving like UCLA, college student undergrad vibes. That's what I was getting from him. He had like a book, and on the side it was like a sticker, looked like it was a library book, and he did on some other college thing. He had an Apple Watch. I don't know, but he sat in the middle between us, and like he and her like started talking and like smiling and laughing. Like I was like, oh okay, no okay, that's okay, okay, no it's okay, I'm fine. So then we sit on the tarmac for 40 minutes. Tarmac, tarmat, tarmac, tarmac, mat. I don't know. The runway. We're on the runway for 40 minutes. And then the pilot's like, they're like, they keep telling everybody to like open the vents that are like are above them to like cool the plane. But everybody does, and it's not cooling down. It was fucking hot on the plane. It was sweaty. We need air to breathe. You need air to fly the plane? We need air to breathe. Which is more important? You're right. Both. Both. We need both. Do better. It's not cooling down. The flight attendant's like, it's hot in here, isn't it? Yes, it is. Person whose job it is to control the temperature. This is your job. It's like a Chipotle worker being like, oh, there's food here. Oh, there's food. Yeah. Put it in a bowl and give it to me. Thank you. No, I do not want beans. I don't. Should I? Yes. Am I going to? No. And why is the sour cream liquid? Why is the sour cream so runny? It's a liquid. Sour cream should be cream. It should be like not yogurt consistency, not cream cheese. It should be like pudding consistency, like a spongy, foamy pudding. That sounds nauseating. I'm gonna stop with that. And we're just sitting there for like 20 minutes, and then finally, and we're like going around. We like leave the like where the tunnel comes out, and we like go to a runway. And he's like, then we're like every 5 minutes we like go around another curve, and I'm like trying to record the takeoff for my April vlog on YouTube, and I thought I got chapstick on the mic, and so like I'm filming with my phone, but it's like let me just stop, and then finally the captain's like, they closed down our runway, so you can use your phones again. You can take them off airplane mode, and I'm going to turn off one of the engines to save fuel. Oh, I remember what I wanted to talk about with that. Are you going to remember to turn the engine back on? Is all I was thinking. Are you writing yourself a note? Do you not have ADHD? Is your, co-captain going to remind you? Is the first mate going to be like, hey man, you turned that engine back on, right? Like, is it like we're going to like be taking off and like go sideways because like this engine's on? Is it like one engine does both propellers, but two just makes it more powerful? Or is like one control and like you're going and then we're going to just like go like that and crash and die because you didn't turn the engine back on? I know like they get desensitized to it, but you know who's not desensitized to it? Me. Are you going to remember to put the engine back on and save fuel? Are we going to run out that quickly? No, we're not. That's the thing, because you could fly across the ocean. It's about money. Because at first I was like, oh, we really gonna like we have to save that much fuel? We're cutting it that close. No, the 6-hour flight, we probably have enough fuel for 12 hours. They want to save fuel to save money. Those fucking pieces of shit in the tower who own the airlines with their 1980s business suits on, where the collar's white and the shirt's blue, and they're like, we need money and we don't care if you all die. And they're gonna be like, instead of leaving the engine running so that you guys don't die, turn off one of the engines to save fuel, and then maybe you'll forget to turn it back on. I guess he'd remember to turn it back on because I didn't die. Spoiler. But then, like, after 40 minutes, we took off, and it was not cooling down. And so it was hot on the plane, and they don't serve you meals. They don't serve you food. It's fucking bullshit. And then the only thing they do is they'll give you, like, a drink, like a soda or apple juice. I think you can get coffee, and if you have a certain seat, you might be able to get alcohol. You might have to pay for it. Or sometimes you just ask. They just give it to you. And they give you, like, a bag of pretzels, like this big of, like, pretzels. So I got a bag of pretzels and a room temperature apple juice. I asked for ice. They didn't have any. Or they just didn't give it to me, I guess. So they don't have like that you can purchase food for purchase, but it's not like a sandwich or like a platter. It's like they have Pringles, a half sleeve. I believe it's $4. They have a pack of salted almonds, which I believe is $6. And then they have is it $9? Then they have a cheese platter that's like 11 or like 14 or 13 or something like that. And it's like 3 sticks of cheese, a handful of grapes, 2 crackers, and a tiny piece of dark chocolate. Which, fuck you. I want milk chocolate. Fuck dark chocolate. I can't. I won't. Why? It's not necessary. It's not necessary. Did I eat it? Yes. So I got my lukewarm apple juice and the pretzels, and then like they gave me 2 bags of pretzels, and I think that they were like thinking that they were giving me $1 million, like the way that she gave it to me. She was just like, as if she was, because I was like, oh, maybe I'm getting like 1 pack of pretzels and 1 pack of like peanuts or something like that. No, they were both pretzels. They used to give off these like 2 Biscoff cookies. They're like flat wafer things. I wouldn't even call it a cookie. It's a wafer. But then I was like, oh, can I like, I like pulled out the menu thing. I was like, oh, are these available for sale? I was going to get one of each, dude. I was going to get Pringles, plain flavored. They don't have sour cream and onion or cheddar, just plain, just the basics, trying to please everybody. I understand it. That doesn't mean I like it. But I was going to get 1 Pringles, 1 roasted salted almonds, and 1 cheese plate. And I was just going to have my feast with my pretzels and my apple juice and my bottle of water. And she was like, oh, like, which one do you want? And I was like, oh, I'll have one of each if you have it. And she's like, well, I know we're out of the almonds. And I was like, okay, well, if you have it, I'll take a cheese plate and a Pringles. And then she came back and she was like, we're all out of Pringles. And this is the last cheese plate. Because if she was out of, I probably would have gotten two. And I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, this is a 6-hour flight. There are, let's see, 40 rows times. I was like, there's like 120 people on this flight, not including cabin crew. There's 120 people, 50,000 feet in the sky for 6 hours. And you're all out of all the food for purchase items. When you were in Philly, you didn't have a little car drive up and drop off more Pringles and almonds and cheese plates. You didn't think that would be maybe a suitable idea because it wasn't an hour flight to Baltimore. It was a cross continent, not just the country, the continent, which is both the same thing because this is America. I felt like being like, you know that this is a 6-hour flight, right? With 120 people and the apple juice and pretzel bag might not be enough for everybody. What if somebody didn't eat before? Like, and even if you did eat, like, that's long enough of a flight where you could eat in the terminal half hour before you board your plane, and then 4.5 hours later, when there's still an hour and a half left of your flight, be like, I could go for some chicken fingers or a shitty $13 cheese plate. The smoked Gouda is pretty good. It is pretty good. The grapes are pretty crisp too. I have to say that. But like, I wanted to be like, are you out of your mind? This is a 6-hour flight. And this is what's crazy. Like, if you like didn't pay your electric bill, the company would shut your lights off. But if like they charged you too much and they're supposed to credit your account $20, like it'll take them 6 months to process it. And it's like with the airlines. Like if you like missed your flight or went to the wrong terminal, or they changed terminals but you didn't realize it, or like you left your bag on the conveyor belt too, like I don't know, I don't really have a good example, but just like be on my team with this one, just like go with me. You know what I mean? Like they can kind of do whatever they want because they have the power. They can be like, oh, I know you booked you know, a window seat in the front, but we're gonna put you in a middle seat in the back because like we just had to like switch things around, and they're just like, we can just do whatever we want. Or they could just be like, hey, we're like 40 minutes late to taking off, sorry. But if you're 40 minutes late, they're not gonna wait for you. Like, so I know I'm not trying to justify being 40 minutes late. I just have missed some of my flights, and Southwest will just put you on the next one. They're really good about that. So if you're really late, fly Southwest. They'll just put you on the next one. They're fine. But like, you know what I mean? Like, if any other job was like, oh, we're trapped with 120 people for 6 hours in the sky, and we have one cheese plate left, the boss would be like, you're fired. That's insane. Why did this happen? But the flight attendant was just like, so she felt bad because she just gave it for free. She was like, we're so sorry. Like, thank you for flying American, and just gave it to me and walked off. Which, by the way, I've gotten so much free food in the sky because if you like ask for something, they don't have it. They'll just give you the other one for free because they feel bad, or I don't know. And it costs like nothing to them, and they just want you to fly with them. So she gave me the cheese plate for free, which was kind of cool. And like, by the way, the lady in the aisle seat, staring at me the whole time, which kind of between like a "what are you doing" and "I hate you" look, kind of like a "I'm buying cheese, bitch." I'm allowed to say that because she was a bitch. She was being one. She's acting like one. So they're like, give me the fucking cheese plate. And it's just like, what the fuck? I know I'm spending like 7 minutes on this, but I really have to get this through to airlines. You cannot. Listen up, airlines. Listen up. Listen up. Okay? Hey, come here. If you have a 6-hour cross-continent flight with 120 people, and especially if your air conditioning's not working and you leave 40 minutes late, one lukewarm apple juice and a tiny bag of pretzels, fuck, even 2 bags of pretzels, is not enough. It's not enough. I'm hungry. The blood clots forming in my legs are hungry. And the pieces of shit sitting next to me are hungry. I still have empathy for them because I'm a good person. So, I'm sorry, I can't move on. How do you not have any more food? It is a 6-hour flight. There's 120 people. You don't have any Pringles? You don't have any fucking salted almonds? Fucking gross shit? I don't even want to eat it, but I'm hungry. Fucking 1 cheese plate left? You have 1 cheese plate left? 1 cheese plate left. This is fucking bullshit. So she just gives it to me, and like the lady's like looking at me. I'm like, what? You don't know they have food for sale? Look in the back pocket with the information. And I would have bought you a cheese plate if you weren't being such a piece of shit asshole and mean to me, but I couldn't because they're out of them. So then I'm like, I eat my cheese plate, and then I crocheted a beanie. And the lady was like looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm being creative. I'm making a hat out of yarn. And then like she gets up to use the bathroom. And so because she gets up to use the bathroom and it's clear, I'm like, I'm going to take advantage of this because I like have to take my medicine in like 45 minutes and it's in my bag that's up there. And also I should probably pee, stretch my legs. And instead of making both get up, it's like, well, one of them got up. So I knew like if one or both got up, I was going to get up. So that's what I did. And I was like to the guy next to me, I'm like, excuse me, like, do you mind if I Like, get past you, get up past you. I don't know what I said. I said something like that. Nice, cordial. And he was like, yeah, of course. But he didn't say it like that because that sounded nice. He said it in a way that felt like sounded like I didn't think that he would do it. I don't know what adjective to use that is, but he sounded kind of like, well, why wouldn't I get up for you? And I'm like, I'm not saying I didn't think that you would. I'm just saying, can you please do it now? I didn't say like, oh, you're not capable. Like, I don't know. He just like wasn't nice. It's hard to explain, but just like, believe me. You like me. You know me. Fuck him. We don't know him. Be on my team. Okay. Just believe everything that I tell you. So then I like go to the bathroom. I like pee. Impossible not get piss all over everything. Use the tiny fucking sink. I don't know. I've never shit in an airplane bathroom, mostly because I'm scared of like getting shit on my pants or other people shit on my pants. Those things are tiny. Those things are so tiny. I can barely move around in them. Whoever designed airplanes hates people and loves money, because I think the middle seat, there should be 2 armrests. There shouldn't just be seat, armrest, seat, armrest, seat. It should be seat, armrest, armrest, seat, armrest, armrest, seat. 2 armrests. Why is my elbow in your armpit? It's very moist. Why are our knees best friends? Why are they in love? Why are they hugging? Do I want more leg room? Yes. I also want more width. I want more thigh room. Put a pin in that. We'll get back to that. But I come back and the fucking bitch in the aisle is sitting. So then I have to like get back in. But before, I want to grab my medicine that's up there. So like, I have this way of like over explaining myself, but it's usually because people just don't understand what's happening. So I was like, oh, like, let me just grab I said something like, oh, thank you. Cause she started to get up and I was like, oh, I just need to grab my medicine real quick. And I say that not because like I think she cares like that she needs a play-by-play, but it just means like she doesn't have to get up right away. Like she can sit for another minute because then she gets up, but she's just like standing there like waiting for me and like looking at me. But like that's why I didn't say like, oh, can you please get up? And then like I'm gonna go do this thing where I look in my bag for like my medicine. Like no, I was like, I'll explain it. So that's the thing. Is like I explain things because people aren't fucking understanding what I'm doing. But then they're like, well, why are you giving me a fucking play-by-play kind of vibes? But then I'm like, well, if I didn't, you'd be like, well, what are you doing? And this is what I'm fucking doing. I'm getting my fucking medicine. I'm trying to move as quickly as possible, but apparently I'm slow and like, fuck you. I don't know. And so like I get back into, I like thank both of them very much. Like, I think I'm being really nice. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Like, what do I need to do? Bow? Why is it when I say nice things, people think I'm not being nice? Why do I need to smile like this? That's creepy. I'm like, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's not good enough. I have to be like, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I don't know. I don't like that. It's weird. It's weird. So I get in, like, they don't say anything. They don't say like, oh, take your time, or oh, no worries, or like, did you have fun in the bathroom? Nothing. But you know, like some people will be like, oh, you're welcome. Like, I don't know, like you're sitting -3 inches away from somebody. You know what I mean? You're literally touching. So it's like, usually you kind of will say something. I don't know. You're trapped for 6 hours, but like nothing. So I like take my pills and like, I'm nervous because one of them's big and I'm in the sky. I don't want to choke and die in the sky. You know, like if you're going to die in an airplane, it should probably be like in a crash and not choking on a pill that you take every day. So I take my pills and then like, it's hot. And then because I got up, I had taken my headphones off. I took my wallet and my phone with me because I don't trust you. I also took my open apple juice with me and had to throw it out because I didn't want to leave it because I didn't want them to spit in it or poison me because I don't trust them. Okay, I've seen the movies. I know how life works because life is a movie. So then I come back and like, because my headphones off, I had been watching, well, I crocheted a beanie and I ate my food and then I was listening to music during that. Oh, I was probably making memes. I make a lot of memes on airplanes. I get very inspired, mostly by thinking I'm going to die from the wings being ripped off. And then, so I watched Aquaman 2, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. They found the kingdom. It wasn't that lost. Like, I think we're okay. But, so then there's a cat. Hold on. Did I just give it away? Okay, wait. Forget that I said that. I hear this noise. And I don't know what it is. At first I think it's like a baby, because it's like kind of like, meow, 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 meow. Like that often, that consistently, like that, like, meow, meow, meow. I thought it was like a baby. And like, do I like babies on airplanes? No. But am I very understanding? Yes. It's a baby. Its ears hurt. The parents feel bad. I never say anything ever. And I never even say anything like in my head. I'm not even be like, I just am like, it's a baby. It's a fucking baby. It doesn't know what's going on. Okay. I will say that's something I do feel proud of myself over is I'm very good about being like, we are the adults. Like, you're the adult. Be the adult. It's a baby. Okay. You're not 12 years old. You're an adult. It's a baby. It can't control. Don't be upset. Like, is it hurt your ears? Yeah. Is it annoying? But like, put on headphones or earplugs or whatever. Like, it's the baby. The baby can't do anything about it. Okay. The parents feel bad. It's one of those things where like, I'm very like, I don't like it, but I'm very like understanding of it. Because I'm just like, people have babies, and babies can't control when they're flying at 500 miles per hour, 50,000 feet in the air. They can't. He was probably crying because there's no Pringles. I was, but I was just like, meow, meow. And then I realized, because the owner, the parent of the baby, is like, shh, shh, shh. Like every seventh, meow, the owner's like, shh. And I was like, I don't think that's a baby. Because it's not like, wah, or like, wah. It was like, wah. I was like, I think that's a fucking cat. Because then a flight attendant went by and was like, oh, what a pretty kitty. And I was like, oh, it's probably a cat. Unless that flight attendant just called that baby a kitty and that baby is meowing. So it was a cat. Somebody had a cat on board. Somebody brought a cat on the airplane. And the cat's ears probably hurt because the cat never once in its entire journey from being a lion in the Serengeti to being on the lap of a millennial did it ever go 500 miles per hour, 50,000 feet in the sky with no cheese plate. That never happened. So this was the first time in that animal's entire genetic line that this had happened. So he was like, I'm concerned. You know, like, I'm concerned too. But the cat doesn't know what's going on. Like, it does. It knows, like, it's in the sky. Like, the altitude's different. I'm sure its ears can feel, like, the change in the atmosphere pressure. But, like, it doesn't know that, like, we're out of cheese plates. Okay? What if this mic is, like, broken and all of this audio is just garbage and I just have to dub all of it? Blah, 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 blah. So the cat's just meowing. So I put the headphones back on because I'm like, I can't. But I'm like, I can't imagine. I'm guessing it's in like one of those little bags by the feet. But I'm like, if this is an emotional support animal, I think the cat needs some emotional support. And it's not really doing its job. In fact, I'm sure it's skyrocketing your anxiety because you know everybody is shit talking you in their heads right now. Put a pin in that. I really want to airdrop memes to everybody on board, but I feel like that's low-key invasive, so I don't. But that's like a dream of mine, is to airdrop a meme to everybody on the airplane. I mean, you have Bluetooth on. You're kind of opening the door for the meme airdropping. So I put my headphones back on so I don't have to like deal with this cat. And like, I feel bad for the owner and I'm just like absorbing the empathy of them. And I'm just like, oh, that sucks. But then it's so hot on the plane. My back is sweating. And I'm like fine with sweating because it's like I'm alive, but we're in the sky. It shouldn't be this warm. There's no sun anymore. It's the moon. And so then we land, I guess. And it was just like, as soon as we land, the two people next to me talking. We're best friends. Fuck you. You don't want to talk to me the whole flight. You're just going to be passive aggressive with me. And then just be besties. You know what? I didn't want to be friends with either one of them anyway. They seemed like garbage people. And I'm allowed to say that because I'm... So, also, here's another thing I don't like about on airplanes in the psychology. When the plane lands and everybody stands up and like stands in the aisles. Where are you going? There's nowhere to go. And the people in front of you are going to have to go first. The people who like row like 4 is getting out of their chairs to walk out, and person 37 is trying to like, you know, push their way to the front like it's like some concert or something, and they're trying to get front rows. Or like all the people in the aisles stand up to like walk out while everybody's like in the middle seat and window seats are like trapped. Like the row in front of me exited, and then so it was my row's turn, so I get up to go, and the lady was like 2 rows back who was in the aisle was like trying to get by me as I'm like trying to like get my bag down, and it's like she didn't say like, oh excuse me, I have like a connecting flight in 3 seconds. I would have been like, oh yeah, go. No, but she's like giving me this look of like, hold on, that was not the look. Okay, let me use my acting skills. She gave me this look like she was kind of like annoyed, but like she knew that she was being a bitch. I wanted to say the C word. Did you notice that? I was queuing up for a cunt, but I said bitch. She was kind of like, it's my turn to go. Fuck you. I'm okay. The human psychology of it is just like, do you think that if you don't leave now, you're going to be murdered? Wait 2 minutes. You're fine. So also I'm the main character in row 14. I'm the main character. Okay. I don't even know if you're a side character. You didn't even have a speaking line. You were a background actor. You're an extra. You're an NPC. You didn't even say anything. Nobody even spoke to me the one flight attendant did, but like everybody could have been like a NPC and I wouldn't have known, except I did know because I just told you. So it's just like, wait, like fucking wait, dude. If you have a connecting flight, okay. If not, fucking wait. Do you need to be standing in the fucking aisle? Do you need to go 3 rows up to get your bag? Like, get your bag when you walk out. Do you really like? I need to get my bag right now. Everybody goes in like fight or flight panic mode. It's insane. Which is why you can buy $16 magazines at the airport. Why did I buy this GQ and Esquire and Vogue for like $32? I never buy magazines. Well, I'm in an airport. I feel like I'm in a 1980s movie. Before I started recording the podcast. I ate 3 Chobani Flip yogurt cups an hour ago. I had Chipotle. I really want to eat a bologna and cheese sandwich on white bread with mayonnaise and a sliced tomato. But I got ham and salami instead, and I did get cheese. But so then I get off the plane, like fuck those people, and then you know what happened with the Uber, and then did I tell you everything that I wanted to tell you about the plane? I don't know. It's supposed to be a 10-minute podcast, and this is at 1:38:17. So so I'm home. I went to Philly for family reasons. I won't tell you what they are, not because I'm hiding anything, because I'm an extrovert, just because it's very personal. Like I consent to putting myself on the internet, but like my family doesn't. I'm very protective of their privacy, so I'm not going to say what it was. But it was something tragic, and I don't want to bring the vibe down. But you know, life is short, so please do what you want with your life. Go after the things that you want. Tell the people you love that you love them. I'll probably start making jokes and memes about it like 6 months from now, but I don't know like who from my family like watches my content or not. But I just want to be like cognizant, and that's a big word that I do know what it means, and respectful of our family's space at this time. Sounded like a publicist. I think that's all. I mean, if I remember something else, I'll like put in the next episode. Jake Gyllenhaal did not die. He was gone. I was gone for a week. I didn't water him. To those of you who don't know, I have a roommate named Jake Gyllenhaal who lives on my balcony. He is a plant, and I basically never water him. Sometimes I water him too much when I waterboard him, but I haven't watered him yet since I've been back. I water him at night so that his roots don't dry out during the day. He's fine. Like honestly, one time I didn't water him for like 7 weeks, and I thought he was gonna die, and he was fine. He's a little dried out and brown, but he came back to life real quick. Before I left, it was like raining a lot, so there's a lot of water in the air. I don't know what happened yesterday. By this time, it's probably 2 days ago. April 14th, we had 32 downloads of the podcast in one day. That is so incredible. Thank you to everybody who did that. I don't know what that was, but I'm happy about it. 32 subscriptions, downloads, streams, whatever, of the audio-only podcast. Like where you listen to audio and podcast shit, like 32 in one day. That's insane. That's the most I've ever had in one day. So thank you so much to everybody for that from the bottom of my heart. If you're not subscribed, I don't know if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, share it. But like if you aren't subscribed to the podcast, subscribe anywhere that you stream audio or get podcasts from on the app or whatever. Like give the show 5 stars like an Uber. Rate the show 5 stars like an Uber. Help it with algorithm. Give yourself a little dopamine burst. Bump being my publicist. But I was really stoked about that, so thank you so much to everybody for that. Follow me on social media at dogwmk or search Delusions of Grandeur with Matty K. Subscribe, follow, share, like, comment, rate, blah 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 blah. See, like right now, like my energy, like some people might be like, you seem sad or down. Like this is me, chill, happy, and content. Like if I was smiling like this, that would be creepy. Why does all content need to be like that? It's weird. I'm just sitting here talking. I'm good. I'm happy. When I first saw The Office, and it was like deadpan comedy, I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? I started watching Jonah Hill, Zach Galifianakis movies. I was like, oh my gosh, what's this? Aubrey Plaza in Parks and Recreation, Ron Swanson. I was like, oh my, I love this. So anyway, thank you to everybody for listening to this episode of the podcast. I hope that your 2024 is going well. It's going by so fast. It's going for me. You know, I'm trying to be positive about it. But yeah, thank you to everybody listening, hanging out, and you know, I never know how to end these things because I'm not sure if I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about, but I think I did. I talked about the flight. I talked about the Uber. I talked about, I feel like I mentioned Chipotle being too expensive in every episode. I don't know, dude, hang loose, you know, follow your dreams, you know, don't die. And like, you know, listen to this episode again or listen to another episode or, you know, or do both at the same time. So I'm gonna hang loose and I'm gonna peace out. And I'm going to go to bed because it is 1:57 a.m. It is 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. I'll be fine. I'll go to bed by 3, wake up at 11, get 8 hours. Oh, Coachella this weekend. I wasn't able to get on the lineup because they were already booked, but I think I might have a good chance of performing next year. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, if you don't know, I have a new assistant. His name is Steven with a PH, not a V. I was thinking about firing him because he got the wrong mayonnaise, but I'm giving him another chance because I'm really nice. If you guys have any questions for Steven, let me know. Although I don't really give a shit about him because I'm the main character, and this is Delusions of Grandeur with Matty K, not Delusions of Grandeur with Steven. And I'm just going to end the podcast right at 1 hour and 45 minutes exactly because I think that'd be a really aesthetically pleasing number. So we have about 21 seconds left. Is there anything that you would like to ask me? No? You're good? You're so good, dude. You're so content. I'm really proud of you, and I'm really happy. And I want to tell you that I love you, but I don't know you personally. So I'm just going to say...